Hello, I'm Supervisor Anne-Marie Graham-Hudak, and welcome to the Supervisor Summary, highlighting items of interest from the most recent Board of Trustees meeting. First up, at the June 13th meeting, the Board approved the purchase of 2 Dodge Durangos for the Police Department. The Durangos were less expensive and more readily available than the Ford Explorers that were ordered previously. The Board then approved a contract for the installation of electric vehicle charging stations at various township-owned locations. This comes a year after the township completed an EV infrastructure plan that identified several potential locations to install the EV charging stations. At that time, the Board of Trustees and staff also indicated a need to pursue turnkey services for the EV charging stations, which means the facility staff chose GreenSpot as a turnkey installer that will install and manage EV charging stations at this time for these locations. GreenSpot has selected 2 locations as the initial locations for the 4 Level 2 EV charging stations at each location, Village Theater and the Summit. GreenSpot will be responsible for procuring the EV charging stations, installing the stations, and all operations and maintenance of the stations. Pursuant to the agreement, the township will receive 10% of the operating margin generated by the stations. The residents will not be paying for any electrical usage for these stations. The users will pay as they utilize them for charging their vehicles. Additionally, GreenSpot has agreed to collaborate with the township to install, operate, and maintain EV charging stations that the township will be procuring through the U.S. Department of Energy's Energy and Efficient Block Grant Program. These EV charging stations would be located at township facilities that did not meet GreenSpot's original parameters, but the township has determined would be supportive of advancing EVs in our community. These locations include, but are not limited to, the Township Administration Building, the Canton Public Library, Canton Softball Center, Fellows Creek Golf Course, and Pheasant Run Golf Course. The final locations for the funded stations will be determined by unit and installation costs. I just want to also let you know, in terms of the charging stations, GreenSpot will be putting in Level 2s, and if the community starts using them a lot, they see a lot of usage, they will bump them up to Level 3s. Next, the Board approved a contract for the engineering, paving, and testing of Veterans Way on Canton's Municipal Complex. As a main access to the Canton Township Administration Building, Summit on the Park, as well as a St. Joseph Medical Facility, Veterans Way is an important access for Canton employees and visitors. Veterans Way is needed repair for many years. Canton will utilize funds from the road millage to make appropriate repairs and replacements. Lastly, the Board approved the Merit Commission recommendation of the Administration Manual of the Merit Policy. The Merit Policy sets forth the terms and conditions for all non-union Canton employees and was last updated in 2013 and in great need of updating. A Merit Policy Review Committee, which consisted of 5 merit employees, 1 merit commissioner, and 1 board member, was formed to make recommendations to the administrative section of the policy. They completed its initial review of the Administration Manual in April 2023. This committee then shared the revisions with the entire merit employee group and provided 2 opportunities for employee comment. The committee then submitted its recommendation to the Merit Commissioners on May 8, 2023. The Merit Commission approved of the policy revisions and recommended approval of the administrative manual of the policy to the Board of Trustees. It was a short but productive board meeting. As you always would like to hear anything more in-depth discussion about any one of these items, you can always watch the full board meeting on the Canton Community Television channel on YouTube. I just also want to let you know another thing. We have a lot of roads under construction and construction workers are working hard, and I know we have a lot of smart residents. Please allow our construction workers to get their jobs done quickly and as safely as possible. Thank you. I'll see you at the Liberty Fest.